First and 10 at the 24 to open up in a two tight end set. Dilger and Pollard. Edgerrin James had his problems against New England 3 weeks ago and cannot find space on the opening play. Otis Smith combining with Anthony Pleasant to make the stop. Indianapolis on offense. Big change. Right tackle spot. Adam Meadows, a durable figure, not part of the action today because of a hamstring injury. The rookie Ryan Dean gets the start out of Northern Illinois. Backs and receivers. James, he's gone over 100 yards in 3 of the 4 games this year. The one game, New England. They held him under 100. Also a change with Jerome Pathan out with an injury. Reggie Wayne gets the start at receiver. Marvin Harrison getting involved. Out across the 25 for a gain of 4 on the pass for Manning. Mike Vrabel making the stop. It'll be third down. New England defensively, and what a job they did against this Indianapolis offense 3 weeks ago in Foxborough. Front 4, Pfeiffer, as we know, not your typical defensive end. Linebackers, Ted Johnson getting the start, but Teddy Bruschi is back and available for Bill Belichick. And in the secondary, both Law and Smith had touchdown returns off of interceptions in the first meeting of the season against Indy.
Colts come out and they do use the huddle, so they're trying to slow down their pace and make sure that they improve on execution.
We'll call it a 3rd and 7 out of the shotgun, and a flag comes down. The game clock is not working inside the RCA Dome, so the clock you're seeing on our screen is unofficial. The only person that has the official time is Tom White, our referee here today, and we assume that periodically he'll fill us in.
Defense, number 45, play a game attempting to cause a false start on the offense. It's a 5-yard penalty. Remains third down.
So now a 3rd and 2.
And Peyton Manning told us, he says, we're going to come out and use the huddle and try to give our receivers more information in the huddle in terms of what they could expect for the hot read. And he says also it gives this receiver a little bit more time to digest the information.
And that's been the criticism here at Indy throughout the week, that they've gone with that no huddle too much after excelling with it the first 2 weeks. Sidearm throw, and Manning makes the connection to Reggie Wayne over the middle for a first down. It's a 7-yard gain. And Reggie Wayne, what an interesting story this young man is. Coming out of Miami, Santana Moss really was the guy that everybody focused in on there, but Indianapolis was high on him. They didn't even talk to him before the draft. They picked him anyway. He was shocked.
Well, Manning had known Reggie Wayne. They both grew up in New Orleans, had worked out together over the summers. And what Manning likes about him, he says he's a hands catcher and not a body catcher.
Also call him very polished for a first-year pro. He's dealt with some injuries and making his second start because of the injury to Pathan. It turns into a big play. Lawyer Malloy making the stop. And that's 24 yards into New England territory and down to the 36-yard line.
And other than scaling down the no huddle, Manning says they're going to come out and continue to be aggressive in attacking the defense with their passing attack. This is right up the middle. Anytime you see them throwing the ball up the middle, it's going to come off play action, try to get the linebackers to fight at work on that play.
Hurry to the line of scrimmage. James cuts it upfield, trying to carry tacklers, and he can't. Forward progress will get him to the 35 for a gain of 1. Pfeiffer and Pleasant collaborating to make that stop. And that's something that Bill Belichick discussed at great length. Edgerrin James, he'll hurt you inside, but he told us he will absolutely kill you on the outsides. That's where they'll contain him.
Yeah, they want to contain Edgerrin James on the edges. Don't let him get outside, and they also want to take away the cutback plays and get every man in a gap to shut him down today.
On a 2nd and 9, Manning throw. On a slant from Dilger. And the tight end releasing to make the catch. Brought down by veteran Brian Cox, but a gain of 7 as they inch closer to a first down.
And the key for the Patriots defense, even Peyton Manning told us, he said, we have to get yards after the catch. He said, we're going to get the completions, but we need to be able to pick up yards after the catch in order to move the chains. And so the Patriots are going to have to tackle well after the catches are made. That time, they were able to do so when Dilger made the reception.
Manning is cooking so far. 4 of 4, 43 yards throwing the football. This is a 3rd and 2. Tony Simmons, the former Patriot, has checked in. Manning throws into traffic and incomplete. Wayne took a smack from Brian Cox, and getting physical is something that the defense of New England has talked about all throughout the week, and they did it 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, and Brian Cox has a good read on the quarterback. He's just reading the eyes of Peyton Manning, he knows there's going to be a crosser coming over the middle, and he's ready to deliver a blow. Something he did in week 3 in their first game when he delivered a hit on Jerome Pathan. And it really sent a message for the rest of the day. They were very physical in that football game.
That hit on Pathan, first play from scrimmage. And you're right, it did set the tone. 46-yard attempt for Mike Vanderjagt. Vanderjagt has been one of the best in the business on a block. Block kick down the sideline. Leonard Myers. And New England off the block from Brandon Mitchell with tremendous field position to start out on their first offensive series. A 35-yard return off of this block.
They just do a good job of getting penetration coming right off the corner. You can see Myers is just in position to pick it up, and good heads-up play. You have to give Gerdakis credit, or I should say Hunter Smith did a good job of coming down and pursuing, making the tackle.
A double tight end set for New England. First drive of the day opens up at the Indy 29. Brady and some razzle-dazzle. On the reverse, David Patton cutting the upfield. Patton to the end zone. Touchdown, Patriots.
It all started with the big play on special teams, and now the Patriots' first play from scrimmage on offense. Wonderful play. It's just they come out with multiple formations, and we talked about this with the Colts. Their defense, very difficult to read the multiple formations by this Patriots offense. Patton just takes it, and they're in man-to-man coverage, so they catch the backside, not really paying attention. They're able to use the speed of David Patton to outrun the defense on the other side.
Adam Vinatieri on for the extra point. How about that for a sequence? Vinatieri bangs it home. A blocked field goal attempt, 35-yard return, and on the very next play, David Patton with a rushing touchdown. It's 7-0 New England. 29-yard rushing touchdown for David Patton, the first rushing touchdown of his NFL career. 7-0 New England in front. And Vinatieri kicks it off with Rhodes waiting. Rhodes angles over from the goal line. Rhodes looking for a block down the sideline and stumbles forward to the 27-yard line. Matt Chatham got him down low for a 27-yard return. Manning back on the field for Indy when we come back.
Now here's the touchdown by David Patton, but watch the quarterback Tom Brady who will pull, and the center Damian Woody, they'll seal, just creating a lane for David Patton. You don't see many centers like Damian Woody being able to get out in front, but they both get excellent blocks, and Patton just uses his speed to race up the field into the end zone for the touchdown.
Indianapolis takes over from the 28-yard line out of the shotgun. Fakes the handoff, Manning over the middle and finds Marcus Pollard. A physical presence, gets himself across the 45-yard line for an 18-yard pass and catch. Also, big picture, Solomon. Think about how big that block is on the field goal attempt. How bad was New England on special teams a week ago? Bill Belichick worked out throughout the week. He
said, excellent. He said, we have to come out and we have to be really good on special teams because we need good field position, because he's afraid of Matt Vanderjagt, who's a really good kicker, and he can kick them from a long ways out, 45 yards or more.
Hall for Edgerrin James and gets tripped up as he comes across midfield. James could have had more than that 5-yard gain. He got a strong block from Pollard.
Of course, a lot of the big plays over the middle are now coming off the play action. And the Patriots came out and said, we want to be very physical with the Colts. We believe that the Colts are finesse offense. That's what Ty Law told us. He said we have to be very physical with them, but he says we have to play smart, not give up the big plays and play action. 2nd and 5. Ball is spotted at the 49 of New England. James gets the call again. James, juke move. And gets it out to the 45 for a gain of 4. Looks to be about a yard short of a first down. Let's go to New York right now. Jim Nantz with an NFL Today update.
Thank you, Ian. You remember last week how the Ravens were just throttled by Green Bay. Well, right off the opening kick, a big return. Then James Jackson runs it in. 7-0 Browns at the start over the Ravens. Let's go back to Ian and Solomon.
Well, one thing we do know, Jim, that division, things have changed immensely. Cleveland has credibility. Cincinnati. Pittsburgh is leading the division. Go figure that. Short yardage situation. It's a first down for Indianapolis. Edgerrin James low to the ground, but maintained his footing for a 3-yard gain. And a new set of downs for Indy to work with. Edgerrin James last week 116 yards on the ground, but he was held to 55 yards on 17 carries in the last meeting against New England.
And I think the Colts have to come out and establish more physical presence in their running game and attack the middle of the Patriots defense, much like the Miami Dolphins were able to do 2 weeks ago.
Teddy Bruschi has come onto the field to replace Ted Johnson. And here's Manning checking off. Line of scrimmage is the 43. James running inside. He squeezes out about 5 yards on that carry. Teddy Bruschi brings him down. Giving up the big play, Solomon, that's something that Bill Belichick and the rest of the New England defenders that we spoke to focused in on. They'll give up the dink and dunk, the 4-yard run, the 3-yard run. They don't want to get hurt by Manning to Harrison 50 yards.
And Ty Law told us it's imperative that they don't give up the big play. He believes that this offense for the Indianapolis Colts become a little bit impatient when they can't get the big plays, and that's when they tend to make mistakes.
Last week, New England's defense held LaDainian Tomlinson to 74 yards rushing. He came in as the NFL's leading rusher. On the dump off for James. And James has a first down for Indy at the 30-yard line. 8-yard pass play. Cox and Malloy make the tackle.
And all week, in the local papers here, people have talked about as to whether or not this offense needs to change its strategy. But they put up some big numbers over the years since Peyton Manning has come over in 1998. So I think, and when you talk to the offensive coordinator, Tom Moore, he says, we're just going to keep doing what we've done for the last 3 years. He says it's proven, and the system will allow us to be able to move the chains. And so far, they're doing it here today.
On a 1st and 10 from the 30, here's James. Has a hole, bouncing off a tackle and down at the 25. That's a gain of 5. Working that right side in the running game.
They're starting to get Edgerrin James going. It's very important that they have some semblance of a running game, and they're just coming in. Ted Johnson misses the tackle, and James is very quick at getting to the corner, getting up in the hole. Very effective. 100 yards in 3 of his 4 games so far this season. He's going to need a big game here today in order for his team to be successful on offense.
Indianapolis showing some confidence in right tackle Ryan Dean, the rookie making his first NFL start. They've gone to the right side a number of times. Out of the shotgun, Manning has the protection. Sails it to the outside and incomplete. Tony Simmons was in the area, the former Patriot.
And Manning is trying to tell Simmons, hey, here's how you got to run that route. We don't have... He told us in our meeting, he said, we don't have any routes where our receivers sit down over the middle. You have to continue the route, continue running through the zone. We don't want you to sit down. So you could see Manning doing a little coaching down there on the football field.
Yeah, it's funny you would bring up coaching. One of the great quotes we got from Manning, the chess match. He matches up in his mind against the opposing defensive coordinator. Not a free safety, not a cornerback. And he visualizes a matchup. So he knows he's going against the Bill Belichick defensive mindset.
And that's quite a chess match.
Shotgun. Manning on a 3rd and 5. Float. Too low for Pollard to handle. And once again, the drive stalls just about in the same area as their last possession.
And the Patriots do a good job. They've been only rushing 3 men, but now they bring a number of guys, 5 players, and Roman Pfeiffer gets a hand up and tips the ball. That's why it's not able to make it to the intended receiver. Good job by the Patriots mixing up the defense.
Mike Vanderjagt on his first attempt of the day had it blocked. 3rd time it's happened in his NFL career, now in his 4th year. This will be a 43-yard attempt with Indianapolis looking to get on the board. Vanderjagt gets it away cleanly and splits the uprights. Indianapolis cuts into the New England lead. Patriots have had 1 play on offense, but they lead it 7-3 in the first. New England with a 7-3 lead, 5:42 to go here in the first quarter. And after the 43-yard field goal from Mike Vanderjagt, Hunter Smith will kick it off for Indy. Kevin Falk is waiting deep. Here's Falk from the 8. Middle of the field, now England towards the sideline. Here's Falk breaking the tackle. Trying to double back the other way, and he's brought down, bottled up at the 34-yard line. A 25-yard return. 7-3 New England. Tom Brady operates this Patriots offense in a moment.